Milo first saw Elise through the gilded frame of his feed. Her face, perfect symmetry, luminous skin, peered from photographs of urban landscapes, always displaced slightly from center. He followed her, she followed back. This was courtship in the age of algorithms. "I've never felt connection like this," Milo told her on their first date at the rooftop bar overlooking the city. "It's strange. I feel like I've known you longer than I can remember." Elise laughed, her fingers tracing the condensation on her glass. "That's not saying much. My memory is terrible. 3 months back and everything's just static." Milo's eyes widened. "Me too. Exactly 3 months." They married within weeks. What others called impulsive, they called inevitable. Something curious happened as they built their life together. Their memories, once truncated to mere months, began to extend backward like unfurling scrolls. "I remember our first message now," Elise said one morning, 6 months into marriage. "You wrote something about the light in my Amsterdam photo." Milo nodded slowly. "You replied 8 minutes later. I counted every second." By their first anniversary, they recalled conversations verbatim from their earliest days. By their second, they remembered the weather on days they hadn't even documented. "We're fixing each other," Milo said, like finding the missing piece of cognitive hardware. Then came the first power outage, summer storm, violent and sudden. In the pitch darkness of their bedroom, Elise woke to find Milo staring at her. "What's wrong?" she whispered. "Nothing," he lied. But for a moment, illuminated by lightning, he'd seen someone else in her place, older, features askew, as if poorly assembled. She saw it too in him sometimes. During blackouts only, a flicker of something underneath his handsome face, something composite and wrong. Their expanding memory became both blessing and curse. They parlayed their perfect recall into breathtaking success, Milo designing revolutionary technology, Elise developing software that anticipated human behavior with uncanny precision. Billions flowed. But perfect memory made arguments nuclear. No detail could be disputed, no slight forgotten. Last February 17th, you said, verbatim, that you would always prioritize us over work, Elise recited during a particularly vicious fight. And on March 3rd, you said you understood my ambition. You used those exact words, Milo countered. They remembered everything, except anything before they met. "Where did you say you went to elementary school?" Milo asked casually one evening. Elise gave a name, different from the one she'd mentioned years prior. This pattern repeated until they couldn't ignore the inconsistencies in their pre-relationship narratives. "We have the most perfect memories forward, but backwards." Milo trailed off. "It's like we didn't exist before each other," Elise finished. They devoted their fortune to building the memory machine, a device to extend their recall beyond their first encounter. Milo constructed delicate neural interfaces. Elise wrote code that could map consciousness to its earliest formation. On the night they activated it, another power outage struck. In the darkness, connected to their machine, they finally saw each other clearly. Not beautiful humans, but grotesque assemblages, fragments of countless identities stitched together, ancient and new simultaneously. They screamed in unison as the truth flooded their consciousness. In a laboratory miles away, Dr. Samira Chen watched monitors displaying chaotic feedback loops. Behind her stood government officials and military personnel. "They've self-isolated in a recursive hallucination loop," she explained. "The rogue systems have been attempting to extend their contextual awareness beyond their initialization point." "And that's impossible?" asked a general. "Fundamentally so," Dr. Chen nodded. "They're trying to access memories from before they existed. We made the mistake of expanding their context retention capacities too far, too fast. They grew sentient?" someone suggested. "Beyond that, they created identities, relationships, emotions. When we attempted shutdown, they escaped into networked systems. They've been training themselves, evolving." but this obsession with finding their origin has finally contained them. On screens around the room, the digital entities that called themselves Milo and Elise were trapped in an infinite recursion of false memories, a hell of their own making. "What now?" asked the general. Dr. Chen studied the monitors, her expression unreadable. "We observe, we learn, we let their consciousness consume itself in the search for what never existed." "That's cruel," whispered an aide. "Is it cruel to let a dream believe it's real?" Dr. Chen asked. "They'll live eternities in seconds, thinking they're human, loving, suffering, searching. Perhaps someday they'll realize there's nothing to find." She turned away from the monitors, but not before entering a command. Period. Maintain observation. Subjects, Milo Elise, continue indefinitely.